The only thing I do have is a text message from her telling me 3 times that I can keep my kids and stay out of her life and she don't want them. I've been trying to get my kids for years.
Are you requesting that the father pays child support for the child Francesca,
Yes,
even though the child is currently living with the father? Is that correct?
yes,
Child support should be set at $893 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
Okay. That's Lonnie Mims and Gina Todora. Please unmute and turn on your cameras. You both swear testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
yes,
Yes.
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I believe this is a partially agreed order. The state will request to read into the record what has been agreed to by the parties. The parties agree that the father in this matter is currently employed and making at or about $25 at $25 an hour, 36 hours per week. The parties agree that that there has been no family violence. The parties agree to continue the non-disclosures from the prior order into this matter. The parties agree to no geographical restriction, and I believe that is the extent of the agreements. So at this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the mother in this matter. Ma'am, can I get you to state your name for the record?
Yes, it's Gina Todora.
And can I get you to state the name of the child or children that we're here in reference to?
Yes, Dominic Mims and Francesca Mims.
And who do the children currently reside with?
They're currently with their dad right now.
And are they living with their dad or just residing with their dad?
My daughter is just residing. My son lives with his dad
And how long has the daughter Francesca been with the father?
since January 22nd.
And is there any specific reason why the child Francesca is currently residing with the father?
He took her and he will not give her back.
And the child Dominic is currently living with the father. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And how long has Dominic been living with the father?
Since October of 2023.
And is it your request today that the child Francesca be returned back to you?
Yes, sir.
And what steps, or if any, have you taken to get the child Francesca returned back to you?
I've looked into enforcing the initial court order where the custodial order of joint custody is in place. I have talked to Francesca. She claimed that she wanted to finish the school year out there and that once school was over, she would like to come back.
All right. And are you requesting that the father pays child support for the child Francesca,
Yes,
even though the child is currently living with the father? Is that correct?
yes. Well, he owes arrears.
I'm just asking about child support going forward, ma'am.
Yes, well, when she comes back home, I would like for him to pay.
All right, just one moment. And if child support was to be ordered based off of the father's income, the state has calculated child support in the amount of $893. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes.
And as it relates to the medical, how do your children currently receive insurance? Is it through the state or through your employer?
Yes, I carry them through the state.
And just confirm you have both children through the state. Is that correct?
Yes.
And are you requesting that the children continue to receive the insurance through the state?
As long as, yeah, if he doesn't have a way to carry them, I would like to continue to carry them through the state.
And the state has calculated, based off the father's income, with both children receiving state medical, that the father should pay a total of $390 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
Yes, sir.
All right. And as it relates to the child support arrears, the state has calculated child support arrears in the amount of $13,104.47 and requesting that the father pays it back at $130 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount?
I thought we had agreed to the 14,000. There's a 14,000 because what she had originally calculated was both of the children being gone since October, and I let her know that that was not accurate. That Dominic's been gone since October, and Francesca's been gone since January 22nd, and she recalculated the number at 14,000, and I don't remember the exact amount, but it was a little bit more
And Your Honor, the state would like to offer into evidence what will be marked as State's Exhibit 1, which is a copy of the pay record. May we share the screen at this time, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just one moment. This is a pay record here in this matter. And as of, there, March 31st, 2024, the actual calculation for the child support arrears are in the amount of $15,924.47. Are you in agreement to that amount, ma'am?
All right, guys, this courtroom battle opened with a statement that immediately changed the tone of the entire hearing. The father claimed he possessed text messages proving the mother had repeatedly told him to keep the children and stay out of her life. Those allegations instantly raised serious questions before the court even began reviewing custody and child support issues. As attorneys prepared their arguments, it became clear this wasn't simply another financial dispute. Instead, the hearing centered on conflicting stories, parental responsibility, and two children caught in the middle of an increasingly bitter legal conflict. As the proceedings officially got underway, both parents were sworn in while the court reviewed several matters they had already agreed upon. Employment details, income figures, the absence of family violence, and existing confidentiality provisions were quickly placed on the record. However, that brief agreement didn't last long. The moment the mother took the stand, the focus shifted directly to the children's living arrangements. She acknowledged that both children were currently staying with their father, but insisted that one daughter had been taken without permission and needed to be returned immediately. Now here's where the case became even more complicated. Although the daughter was living with her father, the mother still requested future child support, explaining she expected the child to return home. State calculations estimated monthly support at nearly $900, and she confirmed that amount was acceptable. She also explained that both children remained covered under state medical insurance and requested that arrangement continue if the father could not immediately provide private coverage. Financial obligations quickly became one of the courtroom's biggest points of disagreement. But the financial dispute didn't stop there. Attention quickly turned toward thousands of dollars in alleged child support arrears, with revised calculations presented after correcting the timeline for when each child began living with the father. The mother questioned earlier figures before agreeing to updated calculations that reflected possession credits and adjusted payment totals. Official payroll records were then introduced as evidence to support those numbers. As documents entered the record, everyone in the courtroom understood this hearing was becoming far more complex than a routine child support modification case. Asterisk reply with next, asterisk, and I'll continue with part 2, 5:30 to 11 o'clock, in the same documentary style, keeping every paragraph between 90, 95 words with accurate timeline
To that
progression.
amount, ma'am, do you see that?
Yes, sir.
However, you are in agreement to provide some possession credits, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, the state is requesting that this be admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 1, which is again the pay record in this matter.
State Exhibit 1 is admitted.
And may I stop sharing my screen at this time, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And as it relates to the, sorry, just one moment here. As it relates to the credit, you are requesting that the father only be provided with 3 months of possession credits. Is that correct?
For Francesca, and then I think it would be 6 months for Dominic.
And that would be a calculation of $14,796.47. Are you in
Yes,
agreement
sir.
to the father paying that back at $130 per month?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand? I'm sorry, just one moment here. 1 second. And as it relates to the conservatorship, are you requesting that the parties be named as joint managing conservators?
Yes.
And just to confirm, as it relates to the possession of the child Dominic, are you in agreement to the father continuing to have possession of that child?
Yes, sir.
And you're just requesting that the child, Francesca, reside with you. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And was that previously ordered in your prior divorce decree?
No, it was, I had custody of both of them primarily with joint custody.
Okay, thank you. Now, as it relates to the visitation, are you in agreement to the father having a standard visitation agreement with the child, Francesca?
Absolutely.
And would you be requesting that you have a standard visitation agreement with the child Dominic?
Yes.
And are you in agreement to the father paying the court costs associated with this matter today?
Yes, sir.
All right. I believe that is the extent of the issues that are before the court. Do you have any additional information that you'd like to offer to the court as it relates to this case?
No, just I want my daughter back home.
And as it relates to your daughter leaving, you said that you haven't necessarily taken any steps through the court to have the child return back home. Is that correct?
That's correct. I did not go to the court to get an enforcement.
And did you contact the police to have the child return home?
Yes, I did.
And what happened with that?
I called Saxe Police Department, which is where I was residing, and they basically told me that they could do nothing because there could possibly be another custody agreement that they don't know about. But what I was told from someone else is that I could go actually to the Louisville Police Department and then get them to enforce the order. But I just I didn't want to involve the police and like traumatize Francesca or like make the situation more dramatic than it has to be. I would like for him just to take the necessary steps to bring her back home.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Just one moment. I'm sorry, no further question for this party, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, the state would like to call the father in this matter. Sir, can I get you to unmute yourself and state your name for the record?
My name is Lonnie Mims.
And Mr. Mims, did you hear what I previously read into the record that was agreed to by the parties?
Are you talking about those?
Sir, are you in agreement that there should be no geographical restrictions?
Correct. Agree with that. Yes.
Are you in agreement that there has been no issue relating to family violence?
Correct.
And are you in agreement for the non-disclosure to continue into this matter?
Correct.
As it relates to the child, Dominic, that child is currently residing with you, is that correct?
Yes.
And the child, Francesca, she is currently residing with you as well, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And how long has Dominic been residing with you, sir?
In October the 11th.
Of what year, sir?
I'm sorry? Oh, 2023.
And as it relates to the child, Francesca, how long has that child been residing with you?
January of 2023.
2023 or 2024, sir?
I apologize. 2024. My apologies.
And did the child run away and begin living with you?
No, there was a call that was made to me from her at night, just due to a lot of the activity that goes on at her house. And me, as you know, all parents protect their kids as we're supposed to do. So the stuff that she exposed to me was concerning, and she asked me if I could pick her up from school because she had a mental breakdown. So when I picked her up from school, I gave her the weekend to relax before I asked her what's going on, because you just can't say you can't go back home. It doesn't work like that.
All right,
So
guys. Once the financial records were officially accepted into evidence, the courtroom shifted toward the issue of custody itself. The mother agreed that both parents should remain joint managing conservators, while also confirming that her son could continue living with his father. However, she remained firm on one major point. She wanted her daughter returned home. Despite requesting standard visitation for both children, her testimony revealed she had never formally asked the court to enforce the previous custody order. That admission immediately became one of the hearing's most significant turning points. Things became even more revealing as attorneys questioned why legal action had never been taken to bring the daughter home. The mother explained that she chose not to pursue court enforcement because she feared involving law enforcement would only traumatize the child and make an already emotional situation even worse. She recalled contacting police for guidance, but claimed officers advised they could do very little under the circumstances. Rather than escalate the conflict, she insisted she hoped the father would voluntarily return the child without forcing the family through another painful legal battle. Now the courtroom's attention shifted entirely toward the father. After confirming several preliminary agreements already placed on the record, he acknowledged that both children were currently living with him. He explained that his son had moved in months earlier while his daughter arrived after reaching out during what he described as an emotional crisis. According to his testimony, she called him asking for help after experiencing serious difficulties at her mother's home. He insisted he acted as any concerned parent would by immediately ensuring her safety before making any long-term decisions. But here's where the father's testimony dramatically changed the narrative. He firmly denied taking the child against the mother's wishes, explaining that his daughter personally contacted him asking to be picked up because she was overwhelmed by events at home. Instead of immediately refusing to send her back, he said he encouraged her to write down everything she had experienced so he could fully understand the situation. He also claimed he contacted the appropriate authorities for guidance, maintaining that every decision he made was driven by protecting his children's well-being rather than avoiding child support. Documentary style, with accurate timeline progression and 90 to 95 words per paragraph.
Like so I asked her to write what was the concern was before she go home, so I know. And what she wrote down, if y'all like me to explain what she wrote down, on the reason why I kept her, and I called all the necessary police departments. They told me to protect my kid.
All right, and just to confirm, sir, the mother never gave you permission to get the child, is that correct?
Correct, but I do get them every weekend, though. Every weekend, there's already understanding that I pick them up every weekend.
And has the mother attempted to get the child placed back into her home?
She has called the child, and we talked a couple times. We both could not come on an agreement.
And as it relates to, give me just 1 second here. As it relates to the child, Francesca, that child is currently in school in Louisville with the other child here in this matter. Is that correct?
Correct. They both are attending schools local.
Okay. As it relates to the insurance, how are the children currently receiving insurance? Is it through the state or through your employer?
So as of right now, I did have Dominic on my Lowe's insurance, but I just got something in the mail that says that it's off. I just told the lady today that I was waiting to this court appointment date. My job is literally across the street. We had so many CPS cases in the past to where they end up going back. So I didn't want to put them on and had them go back. So I want you guys to know after this day or whatever's going on today is going to let me know that I need to put them on there because I can only do it on life-changing events, as you guys know. This right here is considered a life-changing event. So as of now, they're still on the state insurance. Dominic is on my dental insurance.
And based off of your current employment, sir, with a gross income of about $4,333.33, which is based off of you working at $25 an hour at 36 hours per week, the state will request that you pay a total of $390 per month if the children continue on state medical. Are you in agreement to pay that amount, sir?
I do not agree with that because after this, it will be covered on me. I will have that 100% covered without no problems.
All right, so do you know the costs associated with the children being covered through your employer?
I don't have a total cost of both of them combined. I just only have a cost for just me and Dominic at this point. As I was saying, I was waiting to this court date to move forward with getting them both covered.
So you don't know if the medical support would be higher or lower than the proposed amount of $390 for state medical?
Correct. I don't know, but it's since Lowe's is a large company that most likely would be a lower fee than that, but I will most likely get that today.
All right, so the state has calculated that if the child was to be returned back to the mother, the child Francesca, that child support should be set at $893 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
That was when the lady that before this phone call, she told me that that was a combination.
Ma'am, would you be in agreement to the $893 that's been proposed?
No.
What are you requesting that child support be set at, sir?
My goal is to get my kids, so I'm not expecting a child support.
And just to confirm, you're stating that your request is that child support be set at $0 and that the children continue to reside with you. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
And as it relates to the arrears, were you able to view the pay record that was presented to the court previously?
Yes.
And sir, on that pay record, according to what's been provided, the state has calculated that as of March 31st, 2024, that the child support arrears in this matter are at $15,924.47. Are you in agreement that those are the arrears that are currently owed?
I don't agree, but it is what it is. I know what the state told me I have to pay. So based off that, that is valid.
All right, sir. And as it relates to those arrears, you are requesting possession credits for the time frame to which the children were residing with you, which would be 6 months of credit. Is that correct?
Yes.
If the court was to apply 6 months of credit, that would be a total of $3,384, which will set the arrears for $13,104.47, to which the state will request that you pay a total of $130 per month. Again, those would be child support arrears in the amount of
All right,
13,100.
guys. Once the father's testimony continued, the discussion shifted toward communication between both parents and the efforts that had been made since the children moved in with him. He acknowledged that the mother had contacted the children several times, but insisted they had never reached a meaningful agreement about custody. The conversation then turned to the children's schooling, where he confirmed they were both enrolled locally and adjusting to life under his care. According to him, maintaining stability had become his highest priority throughout the ongoing legal dispute. The courtroom soon focused on medical insurance and financial responsibility. The father explained that one child had previously been covered through his employer, but administrative changes temporarily interrupted that coverage. He testified that he intentionally waited until the court hearing before enrolling both children again, because the outcome would determine where they permanently lived. Confident that his employer's benefits would cost less than the state's proposed medical support, he argued there was no reason to continue requiring state-funded insurance if he could provide comprehensive private coverage immediately. Now the conversation returned to child support, and the disagreement became impossible to ignore. State attorneys proposed that if the daughter returned to live with her mother, the father should pay hundreds of dollars each month in support. He rejected that calculation without hesitation, explaining that his objective had never been avoiding financial obligations. Instead, he insisted he wanted both children to remain with him permanently. When asked what amount he believed was appropriate, his answer was simple: $0 in child support, because, in his view, both children belonged under his roof. But the questioning didn't end there. Attention shifted toward unpaid child support from previous years, along with credits the father believed he deserved for the months the children had already been living with him. Although he questioned parts of the state's calculations, he acknowledged that certain outstanding balances existed under earlier court orders. Even so, he argued those figures failed to reflect the reality of his daily parenting responsibilities. The hearing then took another dramatic turn when custody itself became the central issue, with the father requesting to become the sole managing conservator of both children. Asterisk reply with next, asterisk, and I'll continue with part 4, 1630 to 2130, in the same documentary style, matching the timeline and maintaining 90 to 95 words per paragraph. Intro 4. All right, guys. The hearing entered its most emotional phase as the father made one thing absolutely clear: his fight wasn't centered on money. While he confirmed the mother should continue having visitation rights regardless of the outcome, he argued that his children's safety and stability mattered far more than any monthly support calculation. When questioned about additional court costs, he admitted he simply couldn't shoulder another financial burden after years of paying support, while claiming the children spent most of their time with him. His frustration was obvious, and the courtroom carefully listened to every word. Now the state's attorney challenged those claims, pointing out that official court records only reflected the children living with the father for the previous several months. The father didn't deny what appeared on paper, but argued the documents failed to tell the complete story. According to him, both parents had informally shared parenting responsibilities for years, allowing the children to spend weekends, holidays, and extended time with him outside the written custody order. He insisted the financial calculations ignored that reality and unfairly portrayed him as someone who had failed his responsibilities. But then came the moment that completely shifted the atmosphere inside the courtroom. The father revealed that he possessed text messages which he claimed showed the mother repeatedly telling him to keep the children and stay out of her life. Holding back emotion, he explained that he had spent years fighting to remain involved in their upbringing and that every decision he made revolved around protecting their education, emotional health, and future. He even stated he would willingly continue paying support if it meant the children could remain safe and emotionally secure. Everything changed when the judge finally began delivering the court's decision. While accepting several agreements already reached between the parties, the judge openly questioned certain arrangements, including the lack of geographical restrictions and the overall communication between the parents. The court immediately ordered the father to place both children on his employer-sponsored health insurance, eliminating the need for ongoing state medical support. From that point forward, the judge focused on creating a solution that balanced fairness with the children's best interests rather than simply following the financial calculations presented during testimony. Asterisk reply with next, asterisk, and I'll provide the final part 5, 21:30, 26:27, covering the judge's complete ruling and the conclusion of the case in the same documentary
Child support
style.
arrears in the amount of $13,104.47 to be paid at $130 per month. Are you in agreement to that amount, sir?
Yes.
And as it relates to the conservatorship, are you in agreement to the parties being named as joint managing conservators?
I don't want joint.
Are you requesting that the mother be named as the sole managing conservator?
I want to be the sole managing conservator of both kids.
All right, sir. And are you in agreement to the mother having a standard visitation agreement with the child Dominic?
Yes.
And if the child Francesca is to be placed back with the mother, are you in agreement to the that you would have a standard visitation agreement with the child Francesca?
Of course. When it comes down to kids, yes, no matter what it is for them.
All right, just 1 second. And would you be in agreement to the pickup and drop off to take place at the Walmart located at 425 Court Road in Plano?
Wherever it is, yes, especially for the kids.
All right. And do you understand that the state is requesting that you pay the court costs associated with this matter today?
I do not agree with that.
And could you explain to the court why you're not in agreement to paying the court costs associated with this matter?
If we look at how things are for meals in this situation, I've just been through a difficult process with paying all these fees, all telling me what I owe for my kids, and I have a majority of the time. And then on top of that, the fees is just, I don't see how I'll be able to live my life with that, to be honest.
And sir, as it relates to you stating that you having the children, do you understand that per your testimony today that you've only had the children for about the past 6 months? However, there are other additional fees that were associated with amounts to which you did not pay the child support as previously ordered?
I do understand what y'all have on paper, but Gina and myself know how often I get those kids every weekend and every holiday. That's not on paper.
And did the prior order provide that you should be able to visit with the children during that time frame, sir?
The court order told us that we can come up with our own arrangements. If we start to have problems, then we will go back to the court order documents. And that's what we have done up until this point.
And the child support that was previously calculated, sir, at $893 was if both children were to reside with the mother. And it's my understanding that you're not in agreement to that amount. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if just the one child, Miss Francesca, was to reside with the mother, the state will request that you pay child support in the amount of $542 per month. Would you be in agreement to that amount, sir?
I disagree with that as well.
All right. And then just to confirm, you are requesting that child support just be set at $0 and the children continue to reside with you. Is that correct?
I want my kids. She can have a back child support. I pay the court fees. I just want my children.
Do you have any additional information that you would like to offer to the court as it relates to this case, sir?
The only thing I do have is a text message from her telling me 3 times that I can keep my kids and stay out of her life and she don't want them. I've been trying to get my kids for years. I've been going up and down with this over child support. I don't care about the money. I care about my kids' mental health in their school and their life. That's it. This woman has already exposed that she don't want them to me. I wish I can show y'all guys these messages that I have. I would print them up if I have to. But she exposed that I need to get them and stay out of her life. That's what I want today. If I need to pay Jack Pal support, she can have that. I just want my kids.
Okay. Nothing further from this party, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna make some changes here, but y'all don't have a very simple case, so it's gonna look a little unusual, I guess. But all right, so we're doing the parts y'all agreed to, those are fine, which were there's been no family violence within the last 2 years. Non-disclosures are continued, which I don't really understand, but that's something y'all agreed to. Y'all need to figure out how to communicate better. There's no reason probably for a non-disclosure at this time, but I'll go ahead and do that since y'all agreed to that. I don't understand why there's no geographic restriction, but that's something you agreed to, so I'll leave that in. I'm ordering Mr. Mims to provide health insurance for both of the children immediately. I'm not ordering a medical support payment because the court order will get sent to your employer, and that'll be a life-changing event so that you can add the children, both of the children, on your insurance. Give a copy of the
All right,
health
guys. The judge carefully explained the reasoning behind the financial decision, making it clear that fairness, not technical calculations, would guide the outcome. Because each parent had been caring for one or both children during different periods, the court determined that continuing to charge ongoing child support simply didn't reflect the family's actual circumstances. However, previously unpaid obligations couldn't be ignored. The judge ordered the father to repay the remaining arrears through monthly installments, emphasizing that those debts resulted from earlier orders that had never been fully satisfied, regardless of the current custody arrangement. Now the courtroom turned its attention to the future of the children rather than arguments about the past. The judge questioned why no formal legal action had been taken to enforce the original custody order, reminding both parents that the court could only rule based on evidence and filings placed before it. Since the daughter's long-term living situation remained uncertain, the judge declined to create permanent custody changes for her. Instead, child support between both parents was suspended for the time being, leaving the matter open for future review if circumstances changed again. But the court wasn't finished. Wanting to preserve the relationship between both children and both parents, the judge established a structured visitation schedule designed to keep the siblings together whenever possible. Rather than allowing each child to remain on separate routines, weekends would now be shared in a way that encouraged stronger family connections. The father received primary conservatorship for the son, while no permanent ruling was entered regarding the daughter because the legal requirements for modifying that arrangement had not yet been fully met under the applicable timeline. As the hearing came to a close, the judge acknowledged that neither parent was likely to leave completely satisfied. Still, the court emphasized that today's ruling was intended to stabilize the family's immediate situation while leaving the door open for future legal action if circumstances continued to evolve. Both parents were reminded that additional motions could be filed as the daughter's residency became more established. With that, the unusual custody dispute officially came to an end, leaving one unmistakable message. When children's lives are at stake, every decision must place their well-being above every personal disagreement.
Give a copy of the health insurance card to Mrs. Tedora so she can have it when the children are in her possession. Child support arrears after possession credits. And just let me just start here, I guess. I'm not, if the children have either, if only one of the two children have lived with the father, then there's no reason why child support should be paid for either one. If that's the case. So I'm trying to do what's fair here. I'm doing a credit for him from the date that he had Dominic, because at that point y'all were splitting the two, and so it's really irrelevant as to when Francesca went to live with him, at least as far as the arrears are concerned, because y'all are splitting half and half, and neither one of you should have been paying each other at that point. So I'm trying to go back in time a little bit as best I can. So the judgment for child support arrears are $13,104.47. I'm ordering that to be paid at $200 a month instead of, I think it was $130 was mentioned, but that needs to be paid at $200 a month. That's going to be pretty much our only obligation here. So you can pay those arrears off. You shouldn't owe any arrears at all if you're doing what you're supposed to. We should
Yes,
really
sir.
be talking about it being a zero balance. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, you didn't make all your payments, a significant
Nah,
amount of your payments.
yeah.
Please don't talk while I'm talking. So you have to pay back what's owed. Otherwise, we'd be talking about zero being owed. So that's not gonna. That's what we got to do to fix that part. Um, there's been no legal steps to get either of the children to go back with you, Miss Tedora. So I don't understand why you haven't done that. There are ways to get that done. You've chosen not to
Yes,
do
Your Honor.
that.
Please
I'm not
understand, I
asking.
have a child
I'm not
with
asking.
disability.
I'm not asking. It's just a fact. You haven't filed anything. You can give me every excuse in the world, but there's been no legal steps taken. You said in your testimony you chose not to. So there hasn't been anything done as far as that concerned. So I've got to make some fixes here. Either way, if Mr. Mims has both of the children, or if he only has one of the children and Francesca goes back to live with mom, there shouldn't be any child support owed from either of you. So I'm stopping Mr. Mims' child support. I'm not ordering you, Mr. Dora, to say pay child support at this time, but that's something we could explore again in the future with any future motions. Since we're kind of unsure what's going to happen with Francesca, then that's kind of why I'm doing that today. Otherwise, I would probably put Mr. Dora on child support. Um, so if that's something you want to explore, you can. But that's it hasn't been 6 months as of today for Francesca, so and it's pretty close on Dominic, but that's enough time at least for me to make these orders today. So I'm not doing any child support from either one of you. Um, the children need to be with each other, and they need to be with both of you. So we're doing visitation for the first and third weekends with mother. For both kids, they're going to go with Mr. Dora, and then both of the kids are going to go to father on the second and fourth weekend. So y'all are going to be splitting every other weekend with both of the kids, so the kids can be together and they can be with both parents. Um, and so that, or y'all, if y'all want to just do every other weekend, if that's easier than counting up when the first weekend is and all that, you can do that. But um, they need to be together as well if Francisco was to come back to live with Mr. Dora. So kind of making a plan here that's probably what's going to happen, but I don't know for sure. Um, I can't tell you what's going to happen 3 months from now, so we'll see. Um, let's see. I said earlier we're not doing medical support from the father, and we're not doing child support. Court cost, if any, are billed to Mr. Mims. Mr. Tatum, did I miss anything there that I need to add to the ruling?
No, Your Honor, I believe that is everything. I'm just running through it as well. Got conservatorship. Conservatorship, I think we didn't address.
Yeah, conservatorship for Dominic is going to be with Mr. Mims. So have joint managed conservatorship with primary custody for Dominic only. I'm not making any orders as to Francesca today since she hasn't been there for a significant period of time as of today. So that I'm just leaving that I'm not making any new orders on that part for Francesca.
That'll be it, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. That they're gonna need some time to draft the order. That's an unusual order, as I said to you earlier. Trying to fix things as best we can. Um, under the circumstances. If either one of you want to file further legal papers, that might be more appropriate. I'm not sure if we need it to be done now or it needs to be done maybe after Francesca's been with the father for 6 months, or if you want the child to be returned immediately or whenever that is. That's something both y'all individually need to decide as far as what legal actions need to be taken. I'm trying to make as fair an agreement as of where we are today. May not be the same in a couple months, so I don't know, but I'm trying to make the best fixes we can. All right, I understand y'all may not agree with my ruling, but that's what I think is fair, and that's what we're going to do. And then y'all are welcome to file any other legal proceedings in the future. All right, y'all are done with court. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out. Thank you.